call you, Miles. It was April who said not to. She knew what you were up against today, and she didn't want you worrying about her.
Yeah, but you did have a doctor in to look at her, didn't you? I mean, if she got hit hard enough on the head to cause unconsciousness...
Miles, we had a local man come in. He said that if she had a concussion, it was probably slight, and that she may have passed out from fright.
Yeah, well, you couldn't blame her. Draper, I'm on my way out there.
Wait, are you sure about this, Miles? What about Nicole's operation?
Well, Nicole's been in OR less than an hour. She's probably going to be 4 or 5 hours before she gets to recovery. I have time. I'm coming out.
I'll be glad to see you. Thanks.
All right, see you in a little while.
Bye. Honey.
Was that Miles on the phone?
Yeah, that was Miles. He just said he was coming out here.
Why is he doing that? He should stay where Nicole
Hey, come on. No sense arguing. The man hung up the phone already. How do you feel?
Fine. It's just that every once in a while I'm afraid my head's going to fall off. Then I'm afraid it won't.
Told you to stay in bed. I'll take care of the baby.
I couldn't stay in bed any longer. All I did was think about last night. Everything that happened. God, I don't think I'll ever be able to go near that basement again.
There's no need to go near the basement. There was no need to come to the house last night.
I couldn't stay at Miles anymore. He had enough to worry about. And besides, I thought if I came up here, I just...
You just what?
Nothing. Nothing. It was a stupid idea.
You thought that if you came out to the house, you could imagine what it was like when Emily and I were living here. That's what the thought was, wasn't it?
Draper, you gotta tell me it isn't true. Tell me what I heard isn't true. That Molly is dead.
Beginner or...
Tell me what happened. What they said on the news, it was just too horrible.
What did you hear, Emily?
They said that Molly tried to kill April. That can't be true.
It is true, Emily. I'm sorry. I know how much you cared for Molly.
But they said that she killed 2 people, some woman I never even heard of.
Raven's mother.
And that man, Elliot Dorn, well, she hardly even knew him. No, they have to be mistaken. They just have to be. She has no reason to kill them.
Stop it, Emily. You have no idea what was going on in Molly's mind all that time. It's a long story.
Well, then why don't you just tell me about it now? I want to know why Molly is dead. Oh, my God. My poor Molly. She was the only friend I had in the world. She was like my mother. Now she's dead. April, are you sure she attacked you?
Emily.
No, I want to hear it from April. What did you have to do with what happened? Did Molly die because of you? Were you responsible?
No, Molly was responsible for her own death. Her death and the death of 2 other people. April was going to be her 3rd victim.
Why?
For you.
Me?
Molly thought she'd do you a favor, that if she got rid of me, you and Draper could move up here into your dream house. Emily, it wasn't the first time. We know of at least one other time she tried to kill me. She put poison in Raven's sugar bowl. Only Raven's mother had it.
No. This is just too big of a nightmare. It can't be real.
It is real. Nadine Scott wasn't her only victim. She killed Dorn because she thought he knew the truth. And then she put a knife in Cliff's back because he was in the wrong place.
But Molly was attacked herself.
By herself. It was staged for the police to throw the blame on someone else.
No, you are lying to
Then
me.
she tried to kill Raven. She attacked her. She shot her with a gun, but the gun was loaded with blanks.
Why are you both lying to me? Oh, God, I want Molly. Where is she? I want to see Molly.
Molly is in the morgue.
No, she can't be. She can't.
Emily, it would have been me if Molly had had her way. She was going to make it look like a suicide.
But she died instead. Tell me how.
She fell down the basement steps.
down the stairs. You killed her. You killed Molly.
Molly.
Oh, Molly. What am I going to do without Molly? Oh, Molly.
Oh, stop worrying about it, Calvin. None of us feels too brilliant this morning.
Yeah, but Chief, there was just no way we could consider Molly Sherwood as a suspect. I mean, we just didn't have that one big ingredient. There was no motive.
No, Kelly McGrath had the corner on that.
Well, don't forget Raven Swift.
Raven, yeah, I suppose her name could be added to the list without any trouble.
There's a list. Your trusty black boy. It looks pretty different this morning, doesn't it?
Yeah, very different.
You know, Chief, we should have listened to Deborah. She was right. I mean, she kept insisting that Nadine Scott was murdered.
Yeah, except I had the wrong murderer in mind. Didn't I? I really thought Raven killed her mother. Seemed like the beginning of a whole chain of events.
But you were right about that, Red. You were absolutely right. That was the beginning.
Yeah, I know. It seemed so logical to me, too. Raven killed her mother to get Jamie's inheritance, and then she killed Elliot because he was going to get in the way of the custody trial and the money, and then she tried to kill Cliff because he was going to expose her. It just doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't, Deborah. I was just saying to Calvin that we're all shaking our heads this morning. We made a mistake, and we have to admit it, that's all.
That's right. We all made the mistake, so why don't you just join the club, huh?
Oh, Calvin, I cannot join your club. Look, I know you guys made an honest mistake, but for me it was something else. It was personal. It was too personal.
Look, Deborah.
Yeah, Chief, isn't it true that Molly tried to shoot Raven?
She did shoot her. Fortunately, she used the gun that I gave Raven.
What?
The Chief didn't think Mr. Swift should be trusted with live ammo.
I suppose it was a lousy trick, loading the gun with blanks. I was just afraid if I didn't give Raven a loaded gun, she would have gotten one on her own, wound up shooting the milkman or somebody.
So she's all right, huh?
She was a little shaken up. She went out to the Scott's house out in Oakdale, you know.
She shook up Molly Sherwood pretty good, too. Enough to send her to her death down a flight of stairs.
Oh, my God.
If she hadn't gone out there, April would be dead this morning.
So instead of Raven being the villain, she turns out to be the heroine.
I guess you could put it that way.
Look, this is all a very interesting post-mortem, but I think you guys better get back to your desks. You have a lot of loose ends to tie up on this case.
Here, Red, why don't we get back to work?
Yeah, I've got a loose end to tie up myself, Chief. Actually, you're the first reporter that's called me.
Well, you don't worry because you're going to get more than you're going to handle, I'm sure. I'm just the first simply because I have an inside track on this.
That's right. You're very close to April and Draper, right?
We were stunned to hear what happened out at Oakdale last night.
I mean, the news is very sketchy, but I understand that Draper and April and the baby are
Still out there?
Yes, they wanted me to stay out there, but I just couldn't. I needed to come back here and rest.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you should do. The only reason I called is to find out if I could make an appointment to interview you, if you'll give me one.
Well, I'd really like to sleep a couple of hours. Look, why don't you call early this afternoon and we'll get together then, okay?
Terrific. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. It's just beginning to sink in. It's all over, honey. Kelly doesn't have to... He doesn't have to be in court. He isn't going to be convicted.
Don't look so happy. I just lost a client.
And you couldn't be more pleased yourself.
As a matter of fact, Kelly is still my client, and as his lawyer, I've got to take some action on his behalf this morning.
Why, for heaven's sake, we know who killed Elliot Dorn. And, my goodness, Kelly's innocence can't be questioned.
Yes, but the indictment is still hanging over his head. Now, it may only be a formality, but I've got to see the assistant DA to ask that the court lift the indictment.
That's right.
So, I've made an appointment with George Walling for 10:30. I really don't expect him to give me too much trouble.
Well, I'm afraid he isn't going to be too happy because if there isn't any trial, he isn't going to be acting district attorney very much longer since you'll be taking over.
Let's not think about that right now. Let's think about telling Kelly the good news. You realize he hasn't even heard it yet.
Yeah. And that's going to be the most wonderful news in the world for him.
Who is it?
It's Geraldine.
Hello. What are you doing here?
I came to see if you were all right, Raven.
Obviously you heard about last night.
Yes, I've heard. And I was very worried about you.
You were worried about me?
Yes, my dear.
Well, I don't believe it. Somebody is actually worried about me.
Raven, from what I've heard, you've been through a terrible ordeal.
Yes. The woman meant to murder me.
For heaven's sake, why?
Because she thought that I saw her the night Elliot Dorn was murdered at the Unicorn.
How could that possibly be?
Well, because I was at the Unicorn that night, and I did see someone, but it was a shadow.
Then you had told the police that shadow was Molly Sherwood?
Well, not exactly. But see, she assumed that I could identify her because she was there, so she shot me. She fired at me point blank with my own gun. Thank heavens I had put blanks in the gun instead of bullets.
Then you went to the Scott's house. From what I heard on the news this morning, your entrance into that house was what caused that woman's death.
She thought she'd killed me. But actually, you see, I fainted when she shot me, so she only thought I was dead.
But then, when you entered that house, she must have thought you were a ghost.
She was so scared she fell down the stairs.
And you saved April's life.
April was lying there unconscious. She had a noose around her neck. You wouldn't have believed it. If I hadn't showed up when I did, Molly would have killed her.
As I say, you saved April's life, and that was a wonderful thing.
That's true. I did save April's life, didn't I?
I don't think there's any question of it. You might very well find yourself the heroine of the hour, my dear.
Yes. The thought hadn't even occurred to me.
Deborah, how can you do this to me? I mean, look, all right, think of it this way. Think about the Three Musketeers.
We are the Two Musketeers, Calvin.
Yeah, and now you want to make it one. I mean, who ever heard of one musketeer? I might as well turn in my sword.
Well, go ahead then. Look, I swear I was going to turn in my badge if I was wrong about the Elliot Dorn case. I was wrong. Isn't that obvious?
Look, Red, nobody expects you to be right 100% of the time. Look, wait a minute. Now, even Chief Mallory thought it was Kelly McGrath. You don't see him handing in his resignation,
Calvin,
do
that
you?
is not the same thing.
Red, you love this job. I know you do.
Calvin, I'm not going to stop working. I'm just going to do it somewhere else.
But this is your home.
Well, I'll just find a home someplace else then. Maybe I'll go out west.
Yeah? You going to see Steve?
No, I don't feel like resurrecting that. He's got his own life, and I'm going to put mine.
Oh, Deborah, look, why don't you just think about this, huh? I mean, even Mallory, now, he didn't turn out to be such a bad guy, did he?
Oh, no, I like the guy a lot. He's the stubbornest son of a gun I've ever met. But he's human.
Yeah, maybe he's too human. I guess that's why he kept defending Raven the way he did.
I guess that's why I kept attacking her the way I did. I can't believe I went all this time and I was so wrong. I can't believe I was persecuting that woman for no reason.
Come on. Raven can handle it. She might even deserve it. I mean, she's done a lot worse to people in this town.
Oh, Calvin. You know what? The only person I'm going to miss in this town is you, my friend.
Well, you don't have to miss me. You could take me with you.
Come on. You know, Cal, Calvin, you're not going to lose me, you know. You'll be hearing from me.
You know, it's funny, but you have become my best friend. Damn it. I miss you.
I'm going to miss you, too.
Come on, Emily, just take one of these.
No, I don't want to go to sleep.
It's not going to make you sleep. They're very, very mild. Just make you a little bit more relaxed.
You just want to be quiet. Like everyone else around here. They just want me to be quiet so I won't make any more trouble, right? Well, I'm not going to take those things, so you can just get out of here. Leave me alone.
Just calm down. I'll be back in a few minutes.
God, Molly. What am I going to do without you? What am I...
She saw a ghost, and she was so frightened she fell down the stairs.